We are kind of closing in on the second half of August. It's really, really hot in Arizona right now. And I think about like our Canadian friends and how they get to run away from all of this, during the summer and just go and relax. I know that Faith and Albert work very hard on their farm and places like that, but I mean, they're still much cooler than we are. Um, I want to just kind of talk about something tonight that I know in this room, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but I want us to be really mindful of, how do I say this? So I have a friend who her husband and went in with a business partner to open a restaurant, and they're being targeted right now um, because they're Indian, and it's getting really ugly, and she doesn't feel safe, and she's worried about like the safety of her husband and things like that. And if you knew this girl, like I know this girl, and some of you do know her very well, she's just like this little delicate flower. And to hear that she's scared because of being targeted, it's we have a responsibility to be loving. We have a responsibility to be loving to everybody. And that's my really like the thing that I feel like we try to do here, and I lose my temper and I get short. And even when I came in tonight, Quentin worked really hard, got all the printing done, and I was frustrated because the calendar was wrong. And instead of me saying like, thank you for, doing all of that, I just pointed out the negative things. So like we do that. We all screw up. We're all short, but like we have to be, I don't like the word tolerant. I've never liked that word because I feel like tolerance is this idea of I can only tolerate so much. It feels like there's a cap to it. It doesn't feel like it's just open wide, like acceptance feels, even there's still some strings attached to that, but it feels way more broad than tolerant. It feels like there's like a block to it. And I think the big thing is just kind of coming into situations in a space of just love. I was working with somebody earlier today that if you guys knew how my crazy brain works, sometimes when I'm working with people, I see like real weird images that don't make a lot of sense at first, but then they all come together. And I kept on seeing like Care Bears when I was working with this guy. And I was like, oh, like you expect everybody, like you have this like way of loving people and wanting like love should not have conditions, like a Care Bear, right? Like Care Bears are like, they're just like these loving little things, right? And there's no conditions, there's no qualifications for love from a Care Bear, right? Whatever that means. And so, man, it would be really cool if we could go through that. I just was talking to Christina Rich, and she just got back from Norway, and she just said that everything there was just so much easier. Like they don't have police running all over the place. There's like things just seemed so much more, like she's like, you just don't see police anywhere. Like, I don't know what they do for a living, but like, I don't know where they're at. They're just not anywhere. And so boy, wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a utopian world? And but I do believe that we have the power to create love and an outreach of love. And I'm going to use the word acceptance of all creatures, and in a way that it can be without bias, without prejudice. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what country you come from. I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You're a human. I want to be here with you because you're human, and I want to enjoy you, and I want to learn from you, and I want to experience what you experience. I want to see the world through your eyes, and wouldn't that be cool, right? I just feel like it's like a way cooler way to live than like just having a block to somebody. So again, I know I'm preaching to the choir in this room. So you work on people's hearts. So when you cut open their chest and you see their heart, everybody's the same, right? Doesn't make any difference. It's just the same, you know? And we forget about that. So like, um, I'm praying that we can all be in that space. So tonight, my beautiful husband came to join us, and he is going to play bowls. I'm going to lead us in a little bit in the beginning for the meditation, and then we're going to listen to him play bowls, and then I'll lead us out of it. Okay. And then again, it is my sincere prayer that we set an intention for there to be peace and love. I'm not trying to sound woo-woo, and I'm not trying to be trite with my words. Like sometimes I say things and then I'm like, oh, it just sounds so trite, right? Like peace and love, but like for real, like for real, like we really need to do that, you know? And so just like seeing somebody that's suffering and just wishing them peace and wishing them love, you know, seeing somebody who's just trying to do what they need to do and just like wishing them love and wishing them peace and just stuff like that. Okay. Everybody everywhere. All right. Okay. So Chris asked me what I was going to talk about tonight. And I said, I didn't really let him know, but I've been thinking about this since I had this conversation with my friend a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to tell you guys, she was so worried about me saying something. This is the ironic thing. She said, please don't say anything because I don't want anything to happen to ZenLife. So that was her concern. Because I'm like, I just want people to be good. And she's like, please don't say anything because I can't have anything happen to ZenLife. That's how scared she is for that. So, so we have the power to do good things, okay? So everybody sit up nice and tall. And just allow yourself to drop in. Feel the elongation of your spine. And we'll do a little black smoke meditation tonight, and then we will let Chris lead us with bowls. So setting in, let's start at our sits bones and just feeling the foundation underneath us. And pulling along the spine all the way up, feeling your chin tuck slightly and the crown of your head lifting. And trying not to have your teeth touching. Let's all take a nice deep breath together. Inhale deeply. And then exhale out. Oh, that feels better. And just allowing ourselves to settle in. And we'll start off with the image of ourself and seeing maybe a version of ourself that struggles. And we can even, everybody has felt like an outcast at one point in time or another. And maybe allowing ourselves to see that part of ourselves that maybe just didn't feel like it, that part of us didn't fit in. Maybe it was a younger part of ourself. Could be more recent. And when you have that image of yourself there, and as you smile at your beautiful self, imagine, if you can, that as you inhale, you're breathing in the black smoke. That's that suffering, that part of you that didn't feel like you fit in, breathing it into your heart, allowing that transmuting energy to happen, then exhaling light back into yourself. Inhaling in the suffering, the black smoke, and exhaling out the light. So now we can switch gears and start to imagine somebody that we may know that you've witnessed them maybe suffer a little bit. Maybe they've suffered with that feeling of alienation. And envision them in front of you. And then the same process, just imagine that you're breathing in that suffering, that black smoke. Let your heart completely transmute it, and then exhale light and love back to them. Now we're going to think about maybe a whole group of people. And it could be any group of people that you have compassion for. And this is the big one, it's just envisioning those faces there. And then you breathe in the black smoke. You know that your heart is strong enough for this. Transmute it and breathe back light. So now just go back to being with yourself and your own breath. If you can imagine that part of yourself again, that part of yourself that maybe didn't feel like they fit in. And if you can see that part again, see if you notice any difference. Maybe you can't even find them anymore. Maybe they look different. Maybe your face looks like everybody else's face. You can bring your attention just back to your nose. And just send one last dedication out that all beings everywhere may be happy, may be peaceful, that they may have love in their life. You can begin to start to bring a little bit of movement back into your body. Okay. Thank you. So nice. Okay, so I didn't mean to bring in a somber mode, but I know that we have a lot of power collectively, and when we meditate, and especially when we meditate for others, we have, it's like magic. We can really accomplish a lot. And so I thank everybody for being willing to do that. It's so important, when we meditate for others and selflessly, we have the power to raise the whole vibration of the planet. So thank you. We have a couple more events coming up this month. We have this weekend, we have a kind of like a sound bowl and Reiki night that is going to be on Saturday. And that's going to be offered by Jen Berg. She's a newer teacher to us. And so it sounds like it's going to be really nice and like pretty low key and feel good, like a feel good night. So if you're down, that would be cool. And then get to know Jen a little bit. And then And I want everybody in here. See, what I love about ZenLife is that we have like communities within the community. You know what I mean? So there's the yoga group, and then there's the, you know, the meditation, even in that there's broken up, right? There's like subsets, right? You've got like the yoga people, but then you have the Kundalini people, and then you have the, you know, like everybody's got their little jam. And then we have the meditation group, and we have the hiking group, and you know, and then we've got the Reiki people, and so it's cool. But then we're all kind of blanketed under this beautiful space together. But for those of you that maybe have been interested in how sequencing works in yoga, Kelly's going to be teaching the sequencing workshop on Sunday of this week. So that's going to be, it's this week, right? Or is it next week? It's this week, isn't it? Feel like?
Well, I'll grab a calendar.
Okay.
Take all the guesswork out.
That's a great idea, Quint. I feel like it's this Sunday. I feel like it is.
It is. It is this coming weekend.
Yeah, so if you're into that, if you want to learn like about how the sequencing works and stuff like that, I think it'd be a cool workshop to attend. Thank you. And then, of course, we have the last pop-up for Ashtanga, so that'll be cool. And then going into next month, we have all kinds of really cool things coming up. So I'm not going to go into all of them, but I will just touch on the fact that we do have a self-hypnosis workshop coming up. And Quentin is the hypnotist here. I do the other stuff, but and I do hypnosis as well. And I believe in the power of hypnosis. I just don't do the detailed hypnosis stuff that Quint does. And it's like, well, why would you want to learn self-hypnosis? Why wouldn't you just send everybody to Quint? Because if you can learn how to do those things for yourself, you can start to like make massive shifts on things. So, and then have a little bit more power and control over some of the things. If you have some blocks, you know, to certain things, procrastination or whatever, it's really a great tool to have in order to start to make those shifts. So I think that's it, right? Can you think of anything else?
Those are the main.
Those are the main things. Yeah. And we had our retreat this weekend.
Is the Yoga Nidra sound bath.
Right. I said that already. Yeah, we had our retreat this weekend, and it was nice, wasn't it, guys? Yeah, it was nice. So, and we'll be doing that again. For those of you that didn't get a chance to sign up for this one, we will be doing it again in a few months, but we just have to, you know, get some calendaring things worked out. So, all right, everybody, I'll see y'all next week. Bye.